night on the South today. The frisbees are flying in Invercargill as the southern city hosts a major championship. The Regent Theatre's popular annual book sale is underway in Dunedin, but both the address and the hours have changed. And top golfing action has teed off in Arrowtown as the New Zealand Open returns. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. Hundreds of people have been gathering at Invercargill's Queen's Park golf course, competing in a national title with frisbees. The Southern Smash Disc Golf Championship has seen competitors travel from all over the world to play for the #1 spot in the rapidly growing sport.
Disc golf pro Jackson Sullivan putting in the reps as he makes a charge for the national title. A practice day late this week gave players the chance to get a feel for the Queen's Park disc golf course ahead of the Southern Smash New Zealand national champs. It's the first time Invercargill has held the championship, which has attracted a record number of players this year.
So it's a big jump going from 94 people in 2018 to 260 in 2023.
The event's broken up into a range of divisions, catering for the massive jump in numbers and talent the rapidly growing sport has seen.
We're just really growing at the moment, not only at the grassroots with like all the casual players, but also at the top end with all the competitive stuff.
Players have travelled from across the country and overseas for the Kiwi tournament, with the quality of Invercargill's championship course coming as a shock to some.
When foreigners come here, I think they get a little bit of a surprise as to how difficult it is. You know, they just think it might be a bit of a walk in the park, this small little country in the middle of nowhere, and it's a good challenge.
The ILT Southern Smash launched on Friday, with the new national champion set to be crowned on Sunday. In Invercargill, the South today.
A toxic substance is believed to have killed a large number of fish in a Christchurch river. Environment Canterbury has put out a warning urging people to keep away from the Heathcote River in the Woolston area. They strongly urge people not to swim or kayak in the river and to keep their dogs away from the water. River fish should also not be eaten. An ECAN spokesman says they suspect their deaths were caused by a discharge incident, but don't yet know the source. Investigations continue. Shellfish lovers have been lining up in the south as the Bluff oyster season gets underway. It's all hands on deck for oyster factory workers trying to keep up with demand for the delicacy.
With oyster season underway this week, that's meant a steady stream of eager customers at Barnes Wild Bluff Oysters. A team of oyster shuckers are working hard to process the seafood delicacy at the factory near Invercargill. Barnes processed more than 40,000 of the popular shellfish on the first day of the season. That works out to 3,500 dozen oysters. Harvesters have been impressed with the quality of the early hauls after a few tough seasons. Oysters have always been a premium product, but that hasn't dampened demand. And this year, customers can pick up a dozen first-grade fresh oysters for $30, or just $40 for 2 dozen, for those wanting a special treat. In Bluff, the South today.
The popular Regent book sale made its return in Dunedin today with a complete revamp on how it's run.
The annual book sale has been moved to the Edgar Centre this year after over 4 decades at the Regent Theatre. Usually held over a 24-hour period, it has now been split into 2 12-hour days, with the first starting at 10 this morning. Although the move has meant the loss of live entertainment throughout the sale, the larger location has created better accessibility and more room for the thousands of items.
We are thrilled with the outcome and how it's all set up. We're putting out far more books, we've got far more space. It's not quite so cluttered as it was.
Everything at the sale was donated by the public. The Regent Theatre is run by a charitable trust and relies heavily on the funds raised from this event. In Dunedin, the South today.
A change of scenery is in store for a collection of Dunedin's community groups. The long-running community house set-up has been forced to find a new home.
The hefty costs of upgrading and repairing this 115-year-old heritage building meant Dunedin Community House needed to look for a new location. The organisation has spent more than 2 decades at this site in Lower Murray Place. It's a handy central city hub for a range of groups, including Dunedin Budget Advisory Service, the Stroke Foundation and Volunteer South. But the need for significant earthquake strengthening and water damage repairs were well beyond what the organisation could afford. The bill's estimated at more than $2 million. 18 of the 20 current tenants of Dunedin Community House are expected to move to its new location at Evan Parry House on Princes Street. For regular clients, it's just a few blocks away, with the move set to take place later this month. In Dunedin, the South today.
The golfing action has teed off at Arrowtown's Millbrook Resort in perfect conditions. And behind the scenes, there's hundreds of volunteers who've helped get the New Zealand Open over the line.
Silent suspense as the 102nd New Zealand Open got underway at Millbrook Resort. An impressive 312 pro and amateur golfers from around the world have made their way to Arrowtown, ready to compete for glory and the Brodie Breeze Cup. But alongside the athletes are a large team of 460 volunteers, hard at work making sure the tournament runs smoothly. Volunteer manager Ben Ashford says that some of the crew have been working since October last year, building the large temporary building on hole 18 and making sure the course is ready for the golfers to play at their best.
And they're fulfilling roles, everything from on-course marshals, scoring, transport, pretty much anything and everything is, it sounds cliche, but without the volunteers the tournament couldn't happen.
Many of the volunteers return each year. Some have been involved for 10 years in a row, with Cromwell's John McDonald being the longest serving of the team.
The retention for volunteers, even with a 3-year gap, was 60%. So 60% of those that volunteered in 2020 came back, and it's just fantastic. Again, it sounds a bit cliche, but it's a bit like a family. People we haven't seen for 3 years. Everyone gets involved, everyone's flexible, and it's just a great experience.
With the action getting going on Thursday afternoon, New Zealander Steve Alker has started his tournament strong. He's currently tied for first, alongside 5 others on day 1, with 6 under par, while fellow Kiwi Daniel Helia finished day 1 tied for 11th with 3 under par. In Arrowtown, the South today.
An historic aircraft has returned home to the south. Mandeville Airfield has hosted a number of tiger moth planes this week, including one with a special connection to the area.
A treasured plane returning home to Mandeville after 25 years. This 1940 Tiger Moth was given a new lease on life by the Croydon Aircraft Company almost a quarter of a century ago. They've been restoring aircraft in Southland since 1984, and company director Colin Smith was thrilled to see the aircraft back home again.
We didn't expect to have that aeroplane come back to Mandeville. We knew it had come back to New Zealand, but looked forward to the day when it may have arrived, and today's the day.
The aircraft was commissioned for restoration by American Ted Miller, who spotted it while travelling in New Zealand with friends. 22 years and many flights later, it returned from the United States and back into Kiwi ownership.
He was deciding to sell it. We thought, well, maybe it's the best tiger moth in the world, so we should own it. So we negotiated to buy it off him.
The aircraft's part of a tiger moth tour, one of 10 travelling from airfield to airfield. This is the second tour Kubre's taken part in, and he's enjoying learning from other aircraft enthusiasts.
We've been fine-tuning our one to get it to fly better, and these guys say, oh, we'll just do this, we'll do that. And so next thing, they're helping us tweak the adjustments.
The planes are set to continue on to Balclutha for the Tiger Moth Club's annual meeting over the weekend. In Mandeville, the South today.
Whai Yakane. Still to come on the South today. Netball courts squeak into action ahead of the first centre pass of the ANZ Premiership. And the Kiwi women's curling team get ready to jet off overseas in a world first.
Arrow, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Arrow, same line, every time.
Garage Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garage quality service. Garage Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
My mate John's giving you one last chance to grab a bargain. The big one! John's taken a minimum of 25% off store-wide, with up to 75% off clearance items. This is your last chance to bag a bargain, with 25 to 75% off Dunedin's biggest range of furniture and beds. The big one! Final weekend at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street.
Where did you get that furniture from? Stafford Street. And my mate John.
Drive away your way with 3 incredible offers on the Honda CR-V Adventure Ready range. Choose from 2.9% finance with 0 deposit, third finance, or lease a new CR-V from just $136 per week. These offers are only available for a limited time, so be in quick. From Honda.
The ANZ Premiership netball competition gets underway this week, with both the Steel and the Tactics teams ready to head to Auckland for their opening games. The Netball World Cup is also just months away, meaning some of the country's top netballers are keen to impress.
And they're off. The ANZ Premier Netball competition kicks off this weekend. The Tactics hope to get their season off to a good start when they line up against the Stars in Auckland this Monday.
We want to really make our mark in the first game and show people our style, show people what we're about.
Delaney Hoshik says there's healthy competition for spots, with different defensive and attacking combinations all pushing for court time.
Every single player is putting up their hand, so it makes it harder for us, which is exactly what we want.
She says there are silver ferns in each team and admits there will be some close games. With the Netball World Cup in South Africa just 5 months away, some players are pushing for higher honours.
The better we can do as a team, the more chance they'll have because they'll be playing well and everyone working together.
Delaney Hoshik is expecting the clash against the Stars to be a good game. In Christchurch, the South today.
For the first time, the New Zealand women's curling team is preparing to skate their way to the World Champs. They'll be heading off to Sweden to compete, thanks to a sponsor who's getting them over the line.
Getting in some last-minute practice before they head off to fight for a world title. The New Zealand women's curling team has qualified for the International Championship in Sweden after placing in the top 5 at the Pan-Continental Champs last year. They'll play 12 round-robin games followed by playoffs in the week-and-a-half-long tournament. It's the first time any NZ women's team has qualified for World Champs.
I mean, we'll just take each game as it comes and learn from each game that we've played and just try and grow together as a team.
The team has no funding to help with the large cost of the tournament, with flights alone costing $4,000. They managed to get a sponsor from Devold Merino Clothing, who has supplied them with travel uniforms, all made from local wool.
They're going to be travelling in wool. It helps their recovery of their muscles and all the way through. So it's just not wool. It's actually a lot of stuff that's going on when you actually wear wool garments. So, you know, as I said, we're excited.
They'll head off to Scotland on Sunday to get some training in before the tournament later in the month, followed by the men's team who leave for the World Champs next week. In Naseby, the South today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. The frisbees are flying in Invercargill as a record number of competitors take a shot at the Disc Golf Champs. The Regent Theatre's popular annual book sale is underway, but it's moved to the Edgar Centre and now runs over 2 days. And top golfing action has teed off in Arrowtown as the New Zealand Open returns to Millbrook Resort with the help of hundreds of volunteers. And time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, there's cold temperatures for a few days as south to southeasterly airflow slowly eases this weekend. Heading to the top of the South Island, showers and southeasterlies almost everywhere through here tomorrow. Expect 19 in Nelson, gusty winds and 18 degrees over on the coast, and wet with 17 and southerlies down in Christchurch. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. Windy southerlies and showers make their way right along the east coast as we start the weekend through here. Highs of 16 in Ashburton and Timaru, while Uamudu trails on 15. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes. Showers clearing through here and some hefty southeasterlies throughout the day, and much cooler than it's been across the week, up to 14 in Wanaka and Alexandra, 13 for Queenstown. Heading further south, these cool temperatures continue as the south to southeast winds make their way through here too, up to 13 in both Gore and Balclutha, with more showers and a high of 14 down in the Catlins. And down to the deep south. Rain and cool southwesterlies with 9 degrees in Invercargill overnight. Tomorrow's going to be a cloudy and wet day with frequent showers and cold southwest winds with just 13 as the high. And wrapping up the weekend on Sunday, well, more showers first up, but a sunny change comes after lunch as the southerlies ease and the temperature rises just to a high of 14 degrees. And finally, heading to Dunedin. A breezy night ahead with showers as it drops to 14 degrees overnight. That temperature is the best we can do tomorrow as well, as it's looking wet and windy with gusty southwesterlies across the day. Into Sunday, overcast with showers and southerlies, along with a cool high of 13 degrees. And that's the news this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. We'll see you again next week. Mā te wā.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Living Well Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
This is your last chance to bag a bargain with 25 to 75% off Dunedin's biggest range of furniture and beds. The Big One. Find a weekend at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street.
And my mate John.
Drive away your way with 3 incredible offers on the Honda CR-V Adventure Ready range. Choose from 2.9% finance with 0 deposit, third finance, or lease a new CR-V from just $136 per week. These offers are only available for a limited time, so be in quick. From Honda.